Alright, it's a music game, bro. It's a music game. I mean, this vibe is on point. Well, I don't like looking at the horse here going in the middle. It triggers me so much. Why? Oh, dude, I can't look at it, bro. I love it, though. I love the sound. Sounds amazing. And I have autism. Looking at that is like blackboard fingernails scratching. Have you ever touched one of these? What are these things called? What's a little stick thing? Have you ever touched the bow? You touched a woman? What are you talking about? I don't... Fucking Kumas, bro. Hey, beautiful soundtrack. Beautiful soundtrack. Superb. I want to see gameplay, though. Let me get coffee while this is happening. I'm just listening real quick. Obviously, we're gonna continue PoE the second this is either when the announcement's over or if the game looks dog shit, I'll dock leave. I'll be right back, 1 sec.
I decided to open the Rebels company because I felt that there is a huge space for innovation and for evolution in the open world RPGs. And to achieve that, you need to have independence and artistic freedom. And sometimes you need to make hard and risky decisions. And the best way to do that is to open your own company and to make your own choices. Do you remember the second Fallout from '98?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite games ever, and I was so excited when you used that as a point of reference because for some time now I've been aching to return to the promise and the value of old school computer RPGs, and to combine them with modern graphics, with bleeding edge tech, with a dynamic, fast-paced combat, merge these two together and see what comes out.
Exactly. And of course, we will not do the post-apocalyptic game. But what was really interesting in the second Fallout is the freedom. You could do there whatever you want. You exit the vault, you have the clear goal in front of you. Yeah. You don't have main quest which telling you, okay, right now do that, next do that.
Fuck main quest.
You just, like, shape your own main story. And you build your own experience, and this is like the total freedom in the games.
Yeah, and as a writer, this is something that excites me about the games the most. The choices, the freedom, non-linearities, and I think this is something that's truly unique to video games. Like, you can't emulate that in any other medium. So I'm so glad that we are making a game that sets out to explore that space and see what new is to be done there. So that's great.
Also, if you will add to that the sense of urgency, the time, which actually is not really explored in the video games, and day and night loop, it would be really interesting because it will make the game different.
Yeah, no, I get that because the sense of urgency is so important in the context of open world RPGs where players can become distracted and kind of get away from the main story. So finding a way to make sure that they remain invested, that they remain at the edge of their seats is so important, and I think it's something that's lacking from the games in that niche.
And if you will add to that the hero, who have the different loop at the day and different loop at the night, it makes the game really unique.
The day and the night. Oh shit, what, they're going to a fucking castle? We're going to a fucking castle, man. Oh shit, bro. Okay, gameplay. Oh, here it comes. Bandai Namco. Rebel Wolves. The director from The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. 1347, somewhere in the...
must be here somewhere.
It's all right.
Oh shit.
Lunka! Don't hurt her!
Oh man, help it, bro.
You gave us quite the chase, young.
Please, sir. She's just a child.
Roderick, remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No. That would have been foolish.
She's infected.
Would it not? They spread the plague just as well as adults. And there's only one way to stamp out this sickness. No!
Yeah, he's kind of not wrong. I mean, put them in a quarantine, bro.
Not just a runner, but a fighter, too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended there.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Who that? Teleporting vampire demons. Mongolian teleporting vampire demons. Oh, shit. Oh, that looks OP as fuck, bro. Fucking exploded that guy. Bloodbending.
Lunka.
Infect her, bro. Infect her. Save her. Turn her into a vampire, bro.
My sister. She needs help. Fast. Please, let us pass through. I beg of you.
He's gonna convert her, bro.
Please. Please.
Oh, shit. Oh, there it is. He is. He's turning it, bro. W vampire.
I don't know. How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley.
Oh, I see.
Pestilence, famine, killing.
They're old as fuck, aren't they?
Blood spilled carelessly, like water. Things will be different now.
Oh, shit. He's like a god, isn't he? This guy's probably like 20,000 years old.
All of you.
That guy, because those are all people from different timelines. So that he must turn like the best leader from each time. Right? And make them immortal. That's probably Attila the Hun. Or some shit. That's who's he called?
So the game takes place
Oh,
2
shit.
years after the events shown in the intro, and this is just the beginning of a greater saga.
Genghis Khan. Yeah.
So we get to meet the character at the beginning of his adventure, which I think is really cool. And Cohen in general is so much fun to write and flesh out because he's not your typical game protagonist. He's not a grizzled veteran who's seen it all, who is cynical about the world, who comments the world with like one-liners. He's a young guy who, at heart, is emotional. He can get vulnerable. He's honest about how he feels.
What I love in Cohen is that he'll be never a superhero. He'll be never overpowered. At the day, as a human, he can fight with a sword. He can use and discover dark magic, but he can be killed by anyone. At the night, he encountered a lot more difficult enemies. He can use some vampiric abilities. Not only in combat, but also he can use it to explore the world and to see the world in a totally different way.
Yeah, and he'll need all these cool superpowers because he's facing formidable enemies this clique of vampires who decided to take over the world, turn it upside down, and set the rules. And they are led by this super old and immensely powerful vampire.
Oh, I
called
like that.
Densis.
I like that. I love
Our game is
I
set
love
in
that.
14th century Europe, and it's a world in deep crisis. First, the continent has been ravaged by the plague, then wars, and now famine. And all the while, vampires have been watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And finally, when humanity is at its lowest, they come out of the shadows, they overthrow the feudal lords, and they move into their castles.
That's cool. I hope they write them properly, though. I love immortal, old as fuck people. When, like, I love the Highlander because of this, and I love...
Vampires ruining the world is not necessarily the bad thing. Feudal lords in that time killed the whole villages to prevent, the plague. And the vampires, they defend Cohen and his sister. They even healed Lunka. And, I know that people need to pay taxes in blood, but it's not a huge cost of safe and good life.
Well, to that I'd say that vampires' favors are uncertain. And sure, they protect the people of the valley where the game takes place, but they see them as cattle, so they protect them to then lead them and ultimately kill them. And the blood tax you mentioned, it's taken from everyone, the frail, the weak, the old. Each week they have to convene at the church for a blood mass. So for some people, that's deeply traumatizing or might even end up in them dying. So in the end, I'd say the balance is more or less equal. And that's something that I actually really like about our setting, this world, that nothing is simple. Nothing is just black or just white. And you have to decide for yourself, like, what do I think is the right choice? What is the path I want to take? And what is the path I want to avoid?
Become vampire god.
And ultimately, Cohen's family ends up in the dungeons of the vampire lord. And even as Cohen is trying to free them, he will meet people who still support the regime.
It's even more challenging for players because Cohen has only 30 days and 30 nights to save his family. In most games, sandbox means gameplay freedom. In our, it means narrative freedom. We don't think about the quest like the main quest or the side quest. We just have quests.
For gameplay
Players
glimpse.
Grab their experience through the game.
They got gameplay coming.
And nobody will have the same. And we call it a narrative sandbox.
Yeah, that's
Glimpse.
something that really excites me because that means that no two playthroughs will be identical. That each player will have a unique experience. And that's the true magic of video games, and that's why I love making them.
Okay, here we go. There's the gameplay glimpse.
Welcome back, everybody, and I hope you agree that that was worth the wait. Now, the best news is that we are just getting started tonight. And first things first, Dominika, that trailer.
Dominika.
I know, right? And for our Polish community out there, good news, we will be dropping the Polish version of the trailer, Polish dubbing,
gamers.
on our social media channels right after the
Ray's
stream.
QT's pogging out,
so
bro.
Keep an eye on them.
He's pogging out.
I think a lot of people are going to want to rewatch that trailer, so I bet that they're really, really happy. But we've got a lot to unpack here, right? So you mentioned before that the trailer actually serves as the intro to the game.
Yeah.
So everything that we all just saw, that happens before the game starts?
Yeah, so the cinematic that takes place 2 years before the events from the game. So 2 years before Cohen, our main protagonist, becomes a Dawnwalker.
Okay.
So you can see that in the CGI, he's still very young, he's very, inexperienced. You see that innocence in him, right? But that will need to change. The world is going to change drastically for him. He will need to grow up, he'll need to mature a bit. So you will see that in the other game assets, he looks a bit differently.
I did wonder why he looked so much younger. Clearly, Cohen has had a rough couple of years. I can't wait to work out what happened in between. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, but we didn't just meet Cohen, right? We met his younger sister, Lunka, as well. But in the video we just saw, Conrad mentioned that she was healed. So does that mean she wasn't turned into a vampire then?
No, Lunka was indeed healed from the plague, the Black Death, by Brancis, this old vampire, leader of the vampire clique. And turning humans into vampires works a bit differently in our game. But we actually have another duo of devs who are going to talk about it in a moment.
Okay, well then I won't steal their thunder. I'll let them explain it. But I guess what I should ask is, Who or what is a Dawnwalker then?
That is such a loaded question. So many layers to it, honestly. Okay, but so the basic premise is like this. Dawnwalkers look like humans during the day, but they turn into vampires after dusk. But they're not actually humans, and they're not actually vampires. They are something in between.
Okay, very mysterious. I love it. Now, Dawnwalker itself, it's a brand new IP, right?
Yeah, it is. It is completely original, and I think this is what actually makes this project really special for us, because it's a handcrafted universe, of course, rooted in real history, inspired by some myths and legends, but essentially built by our team from the ground up.
From a gamer perspective, again, knowing that you guys have full control, that you've got a vision for how this is going to be, and that you can actually implement that, it's just so exciting.
It's so exciting for us as well.
Yeah,
you know?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Now, I could talk about this all day, but we should move on and talk about the art of Dawnwalker, the world and its inhabitants, which includes vampires.
Yes, and we will meet with our art director,
bro.
Bartłomiej Gaweł, and our environment artist, Adam Payet.
Because the gameplay looks ass.
Characters and narrative design
Then
as
we
well,
just wasted
right?
our time.
Yes, and for that we will meet with our writer, Ariana Sierkiewicz,
What if it's gonna be like 2
and our
pixels?
creative director, Mateusz Tomaszkiewicz. Take it away, guys.
Fuck, man. They've been installing longer, bro. They're holding me out, man. Because it could be insanely good gameplay or it
Look
could
at
be
this
dog
place.
shit.
That would be perfect
You know?
for the writing team.
Not just for them. I love storytelling myself. Since I can remember, telling stories through images is what I love to do.
Yeah.
So when I received the first script for the Dawnwalker, I fell in love with it right away.
I think for me, what got me was the concept art when I first saw those Carpathian villages hugging the mountain slopes, the valleys, forests, and then also the muddy streets of Svartrau and the long shadow of the cathedral. It all felt very authentic, muddy, and also very familiar, homely, and, well, Eastern European.
Not just Eastern Europe.
No, yeah.
It's a mix of predominantly Romanian motifs with broader influences of Balkan cultures. It gave us a freedom of creation. It's a vast range of inspiration from Polish log houses to Ukrainian or Balkan clothing to Romanian defensive churches.
That variety and that broad spectrum was also interesting to get
Like
because
mud houses.
I never thought as an environment artist I would have to learn in Romanian how to Google specific museums just to get the references.
Is that
On the
what
other hand,
Romania
we also
looks
set
dog
a
shit,
boundary
bro.
for ourselves, and that boundary is a time period of inspiration ranging from the 13th to 15th century. And this is meant to ensure the visual consistency of the work.
Yeah, and that is also quite a challenge
Muddy, cold,
to
and wet.
make sure that what you create is authentic, grounded, and has a real sense of place, but at the same time isn't just a picture and invites exploration and promotes that gameplay.
I wanted to see how far we could push realism so that players truly feel part of the narrative. But this is not a simulation of medieval life.
Not at all.
Okay. We sound effects
Realism
again.
can be boring, and we wanted to create something exciting. And that's where the magic comes in.
Yes, the magic.
Our magic isn't filled with fireballs or flashy lights.
Yeah, it's
Blood-bending.
It's probably even more interesting to get right than the realism part of it,
He
because
blood-bended.
when a quest brief comes through and the magic is manifest by, I don't know, birds flying in the sky in a strange formation or the northern lights not being in the north, it really makes you rethink the whole location and how it should come together to marry those two aspects.
Our magic is also serious, and it's closer to paranormal phenomena than to traditional spellcasting. It's like the X-Files set in the Middle Ages, all deeply rooted in the history of the Dawnwalker
I kind of
world.
like that.
Yeah, and I think it's the weather and the lighting system that do majority of the heavy lifting
Show us a
to
fucking
take a
screenshot,
location
man.
and really push it one notch above realism to give it a slightly off feeling. I think my favorite location for that is the cathedral. During the daytime, it's that monument to Gothic architecture with people bustling around. And then as soon as the sun starts setting in and the streets clear, the fog starts setting in, and it becomes a completely transformed, different area, very spooky, almost liminal, cemetery-like space.
Okay.
And that was also a very early and conscious choice on our part. We wanted the world to be a different place after the sun sets.
I like the aesthetic, and I like the vibe, and I like their vision. Like, everything they're saying is good. They're all saying
Right, so
good things.
hold on. Environment as is something I understand, right? I do it every day, I understand the creative process behind it, but I've never touched anything to do with character art, which is your speciality. So would you mind walking me through what was your creative process in coming up with that whole thing?
Sure. So we approach the work on vampires very seriously. It's a whole new universe. What's even better is that it's a mix of familiar elements with a fresh twist. We all know that vampires are well-defined in pop culture and have been around for a long time, so we wanted to create something fresh. So what primarily sets them apart is their teeth. Our vampire teeth keep growing throughout their lives. The older the vampire, the more teeth they have. So instead of 2 sharp teeth, they have a series of needle-like fangs, densely growing from their jaws, often emerging from different parts of their skull as they age. The teeth keep growing because the vampire can use them to create another vampire. And the mechanism is very simple. The vampire pulls out his fang and drives it into the heart of its victim.
Lovely.
So what's interesting is that our vampire's teeth aren't visible at first. They can extend as the mouth opens, and it looks really creepy.
Yeah, I still remember the first time that the animations came through from the character art team, showing the mouth opening and the teeth growing, and it was absolutely disgusting. I loved every bit of it.
I love ancient vampires, chat. I'm a simp. Well, I'm a simp of anything ancient. Immortals.
So Cohen's Argyria,
I'm an immortal simp.
poisoning he got when he was working in the mines, is both a blessing and a curse. Because on one hand, it weakens him. On the other hand, it protects him from becoming a vampire fully.
She's spooked out.
You know, he gets to traverse both worlds, both the world of humanity and the world of the creatures of the night.
Yeah, well, he was kind of used to dealing with the vampires since it's been like a couple years since Francis took over. Now he has to find a way to deal with things like undead lurking in ancient tombs that should have remained closed, kobolds that used to only prey on miners going way too deep into the mines, or even Uriashes, who used to live high up in the mountains, secluded, and now they are in Francis's troops.
Yeah, and they are vastly different.
Oh yeah, they all have their own separate cultures, and well, if you want to deal with them, I would kind of like to you should get to know them a bit, or else you might get tricked, because they all have their own goals, aspirations, now that they came out of the shadows in Francis's wake.
It's a source of a lot of tension, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of tension. Some of them can cooperate with humans, but mostly it's just new issues, new problems nobody had to deal with before.
But I think this is great, because all of that tension, all of these problems are great storytelling material for us, for building all of that content. For example, Francis, he had to normalize this thing for the humanity, convince everyone this is the new normal.
Yeah.
And the way he did this was, first of all, you know, there was a lot of social turmoil, and on the other hand, a lot of deeply held religious beliefs. And he twisted them. He turned himself into this messianic figure. So, for example, he introduced these blood masses where he feeds a human vampire blood, right? And at the same time, they have these other things like punishing criminals with like draining them dry.
Yeah, but well, you know, some people actually liked it because once Francis came in, he set up a new order of things. He finally got down to business, and then he locked the valley off so that nobody can touch it. No outside influence can touch it. And well, some others did not like it so much, and they began to reach into the depths of forgotten magic, occult, stuff like that.
Yeah, so either way you look at it, the Vale Sangora will never be the same again.
Not a chance.
I'm gonna be pro-vampire as fuck, boy. I wanna get all the vampire ancient lore.
Well, that is a lot of world building, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There are so many things we need to remember to make this into a cohesive whole. And at the same time, you have the challenges posed by the open world itself. Because, you know, there is a risk of the content being formulaic or repetitive. We handcraft all of it, and we focus on telling these unique themes we really care about.
Oh yeah, we want to talk about loss, about the meaning of family, about opposing tyranny, about trying to coexist with creatures you've never had to coexist with before.
Well, but that would be difficult to do with just Coin and Francis, right?
Impossible, actually. We had to create a whole host of characters,
Dawnwalker, bro.
We really wanted to avoid having cardboard cutouts like with without motivations, without backgrounds, goals, and ambitions. But, you know, when you meet those characters, your goals and ambitions may overlap, and you befriend them. Or it might be the opposite, and you go on a warpath with them.
Okay,
but,
you know, I'll believe it when I see it.
They
They always say the shit.
It might be good to have some friends to go along with.
Well, but you could go on your own, right? If you wanted.
Well, yeah, you could just grab a sword and go storm the castle.
Yeah.
But, you know, it might be wise to, for instance, find the rebel cell and try to dismantle Brent's
being an NPC cook.
Or, I don't know, listen to what an agent from outside of Vales and Gora
Bodyguards are
has to say.
unethical.
Which is exactly why I love how we structured the game, because we offer a lot of choice in which characters do you want to interact with, which you might want to skip altogether. And also on top of that, you have this layer of non-linearities where you can decide their fates, but also the fate of Cohen and his family.
Vampires,
and I really like that because it gives us so much replayability. You can always choose a different path. There's something else waiting there for you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, on top of that, you know, get to find all these secrets of Vale Sangora and
you know this.
Fill all the blanks and, you know, explore the world.
There'll be some level of eroticism with the blood sucking, with the chicks. If it's a dark, gritty game, there'll be definitely some sex vampires.
All good and well.
I'm calling it now.
But on top of that, we also have a number of really cool gameplay systems that further feed into the narrative.
Yeah, and speaking of feeding, my favorite one is the blood hunger. It lets me play a real vampire. I don't just have to drink blood to use my cool abilities in combat, but if I talk to someone without feeding first, I might just lose control and I might eat them. And it's not going to be just any random peasant that I won't care about.
Main
I
character.
can eat my best friend. And I will break my heart, and I will break my quests.
Yeah, so you better keep
Save scum, bro. Just save scum.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a fave?
Yeah, I really enjoy the ones that are revolving around Brensis. Because, like, it makes him
These guys that played the game, they know everything.
This means that he will basically react to what
Some
Cohen is
bullshit.
doing. He will pass these edicts that will hinder your path. So, for example, he might set up military checkpoints that will be on your way.
It changes the world, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Dude, they have
also,
no content and they're stretching this
it's
shit
not
out
just
so
him
hard.
running the show. It's also his 3 powerful vampire allies.
Yeah, when I saw them in CGI, that was such a hype moment. Finally, animated, voiced.
It's gonna be a 10-second gameplay trailer, bro.
Loved it.
It's gonna be a 10-second gameplay trailer.
Cool characters. They also have their own like spheres of influence, and you get to dismantle their organization step by step, making it simpler for you to confront Brensis and free your family.
Well, when it comes to freeing your family, there's one more antagonist. That is time itself. Because every time you do something important in the game, when you complete an objective or you complete a quest, time moves forward.
Yeah, but what I really like about this also is it's not like real time. You actually get to control how much of this resource you want to spend, right?
Yeah, you have to manage it wisely. But
It sounds like an
if
interesting
you just
mechanic.
want to enjoy the view or just take a stroll, you can without stress. But once you get down to business, you have to do it smart.
You get a limited
So I
path.
think all of these things combined, handmade quests and the gameplay systems, create for this really fun, unique experience.
Yeah, and you know what? I cannot wait to see what shenanigans players will get up to playing with those systems. I will be there watching.
I will believe it when I
Same,
see it.
same.
They are saying way too much shit. They're basically saying like a dream game.
As you can imagine, last 2 years were really intense for us. I want to thank the whole Rebels pack.
You can do
are the
anything.
best, and it's a privilege to work with you. The Blood of Dawnwalker is a very special game for us because it's first truly ours. What you have seen so far is only the beginning. In upcoming months, we will share more with you. But for now, I have one more surprise for you.
Oh, gameplay trailer. Here it is. Gameplay trailer. Gameplay glimpse. Ah, fuck off, man. Yeah, so they're saying all the right things. Right? And it all sounds impressive. But I'm getting the exact same vibes I got from Cyberpunk. Where I bought it all up. They said you could do anything. You could be anyone. You could choose to do this. You could choose to do that. You could choose... Jason, you're starting. If you're going to be a corpo versus a street rat, you're going to get a totally different story. You could do all this stuff. You could befriend this guy. Okay, and then I played Cyberpunk, bro. the whole starting thing with like was just like a quest, a single quest. And then every single fucking, all the big decisions and stuff, it was just a quest and you didn't really have a decision and you couldn't save your mate and he always died. And it was super linear and it was not at all like what they described. So now, are these guys full of shit? And are they promising us the world so that they get a bunch of pre-orders and people buy the game? Or are they actually like next level god tier developers that are just gonna make an insane next gen game that's gonna blow our minds? Right? I don't trust it. Ever since Cyberpunk, I don't trust that shit. Straight up, I'm skeptical. I mean, it looks, the aesthetic is on point. I'm a Highlander Andy. Oh, bro, let me tell you, there's a super cringe TV show called True Blood. Loved it. Loved it. I loved the fact that there was characters like Godric, who were thousands of years old. It was so fucking cool. Now, do you know what ruined that for me? Was the dog shit writing. This ancient motherfucker better be the smartest, most wise, next level, 5 steps ahead Andy I've ever seen. Alright? Because if he's poorly written, it's gonna piss me off. Like, you can't be 5,000 years old, vampire, and not be the smartest and wisest motherfucker out there. Alright? Like, these people who are 30 years old are children in comparison to him. He should be a fucking god. And if he's not written like a god, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah. Now, am I even gonna play the game? We have to see the gameplay. Let's see what happens. Is it gonna be like an Unreal tournament, Unreal fucking engine, like fucking asset, flip, fucking castle? Or are we gonna see some cool shit here? All right, here we go. Okay. Is that it, bro? They really just stretch out fucking 7 seconds of gameplay for like a fucking 40-minute thing. Nah, you fucking toxic cunts. Ah.
And we are back.
Fuck off.
And wow, do we have a lot to talk about. But first things first, some of those concept arts, I need them as wallpapers like yesterday if you can.
That's okay, I got you covered, no worries.
Well, one of the big things that really matters in this game
it's live.
That time matters. You're only gonna have 30 days to make all
I thought this was pre-recorded, bro.
Well, it is actually 30 days and 30 nights. So as Cohen, your objective is to save your family. But how you do it, when you do it, and if you actually do it at all, it all depends on you and your decisions.
Wow. Now, the astute amongst you watching at home will probably just have clicked that that is why there was a 30-day and 30-night countdown prior to the stream going live today. Just those little bits of detail, all of the tie-ins, the full wolf moon, I love it. It makes me so excited to see what's coming. But the fact that decisions are gonna matter in the game, like I can't do everything, right? It's just not gonna be possible.
They want replayability, bro.
And not just that, it's the start of a whole saga. It's not just this game.
It is an adventure
Unless it
through
flops,
the
unless it
ages
flops,
where you
no one buys
walk
it.
the line between our world and its secret dark underbelly. And of course, while you'll get a complete satisfying story in this first installment, there will be so much more to unfold in the
Dude, you get to fight Mephisto's dog, bro?
It just sounds incredible. Honestly, it's a game I can't wait to play myself, and having got to see that sneak peek, even now, it looks so beautiful. It's in Unreal Engine 5, right?
Yes, it is in the Unreal Engine 5 technology. You know, we filled
He
it
sounds
to
like he's
the brim
being sarcastic.
with cinematic dialogues and cutscenes. And since we are talking about the tech stuff, I do want to mention one more thing, which is the third-person perspective. You could already see, and yes, the game will be in the third-person perspective, to give you that classic action RPG feel where you are really dropped into the middle of action.
That's exactly how an RPG should be, and one of the things that I learned here about the game, speaking of classic RPGs, the Blood of Dawnwalker will have no microtransactions. It will have no live service elements. There are going to be no NFTs or any of that stuff. It's just going to be a pure single-player experience.
Okay,
the kind of game that an RPG should be.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. Now, we did promise earlier that we'd keep our eyes on the questions coming in, so I will ask the big one. Dominika, do we have a release date?
Oh, I knew that would happen at some point. Okay. Well, about the release date.
2026?
We are not quite ready to announce it just yet. But don't worry, once we are confident about this, we will let you know. And we will definitely let all of you guys know as well. But in the meantime, join our official social media channels. We will be posting a lot in the upcoming months and giving you even more insight into the universe of Dawnwalker.
Yes, and if you just can't wait for more Dawnwalker content, check out the upcoming issue of PC Gamer as well. It's just a few weeks away and you're going to hear more about the world and the lore of Dawnwalker in there. So make sure that you don't miss it.
Oh, shit.
But with that, we have reached the end of everything we are here to share with you tonight. It has been an absolute privilege to be a part of this.
Oh, thank you so much, Lionheart. Thank you so much to all of you watching us today. We're so happy that we could finally share all these
We got
cool
like a little
things
bit of
we have
gameplay.
been
We got 7
working
seconds.
on, with you. And we will meet again this summer to talk more about the Blood of Dawnwalker, this time focusing on the gameplay features and unveiling how it actually plays. Until then,
thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. Stay safe.
This feels like the Cyberpunk blueprint,
Bye.
except more indie. This feels like they're doing the exact Cyberpunk blueprint. And they overpromised and underdelivered so hard. But, hey, I am, color me intrigued. I'm intrigued. I will definitely follow up and watch more gameplay trailers for that shit. Because it does look, I mean, if everything they said was true, right? Like insanely immersive world, no main quest. You can befriend whoever you want, fight whoever you want. You can choose to like be pro-vampire, anti-vampire. There's insanely well-written, ultra deep characters that are thousands of years old. I mean, dude, that sounds cool as fuck. Like, set in that dark, gritty universe. Oh, you know there's going to be... I mean, we've seen they can do gore. You know there's going to be sex vampires, bro. You know they're going to do some sort of... Like, dude, first of all, they fucking suck your blood, and then they suck your dick. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's going to be some good shit in that game, okay? If they do it right. Okay, bro, let me tell you. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what did I just say? I don't know what I just said. What I'm trying to tell you, chat, is there's potentially a very good game there. But also, there's potentially just a bunch of people showing you all this really shiny things and showing you like the shiny facade and saying all the right, no MTX, no fucking, all this, the best game, you can do anything, you can be anyone. And then the reality is like, it's a complete buggy mess that's barely playable. And that whole fucking shit that we're talking about with insane levels of depth and customization, it's just like a one quest. It's just one quest, and it's fucking means nothing. Like basically what I'm saying is Cyberpunk 2077, whenever it was launched, right? Because they promised the world, and it was dog shit trash. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 now, after they put infinite money into it and time. Hey, guess what? It ended up turning out to be a fucking pretty mean game. But this is a small indie company, and they're following the exact same blueprint that Cyberpunk did, and these are ex-Cyberpunk devs, and it's like, are they the good devs or are these the scammer devs? Like, what I'm saying is, it could be a single sentence: temper your expectations. Okay, don't get too hyped. Okay, That's what I would say. Like, because they're saying all the right things, and it looks right, and everything seems right, but that's what the fuck happened with Cyberpunk, and then I was so let down, and I was so depressed and so sad. But otherwise, hey, it's promising, and I will check back in on this game whenever they do the next thing. But at the same time, I'm still going to be skeptical as fuck until I see like extended gameplay footage, right, where they actually show off the systems, and it's not just like, oh, we just do a little quest here. No, until I see some extended gameplay footage while showing me the systems, I am not going to be fucking convinced, bro. Okay? Do not get it twisted. All right. Back to Path of Exile. Path of Exile 1. Do this. People playing Path of Exile 1 right now.